Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sean Higgs coming at you. Oh, I got to look headlines. It's not look headlines. It is, I got to find Midday Money football. There we go. Midday Money with the little football thingy bobber going. Welcome on into the show. Hit the like button. Winning free picks. Sean Higgs. Very important. Follow Sean Higgs as we're winding down here on the Winning Free Pick channel. So be sure to follow me on Twitter at Mr. Sean Higgs and on the Sean Higgs YouTube. We got Dave in the chat already, nice and early. Love it. Get the pen out plays. I wrote it down. I saw before I went live here, Dave. Florida State minus 11.5 and the SMU minus 26.5. At least you got Florida State at 11.5 and not at the 13.5 when I was telling you to take Georgia Tech for the last 2 months. So you waited till the line came. Even that, you could have, wasn't it 10.5? Guess a little buyback on Florida State makes sense there. The SMU, listen, do I want to lay 26.5? I don't know. Should they run it up? Do you want to do a first half bet instead on SMU? I would prefer. I didn't do anything on the SMU game there with the Mustangs. We have the Tech plus 13.5. We're rolling with there. We're happy with. Chris Brady says DJU plus 230 passing yards minus 114. Third of a unit. Just a little bit on DJU there. I'm not a big DJU guy. It wasn't that great at Clemson. He left. Now he's back. I mean, I love the whole storybook of it. Chris is super, right? He's going to Florida State. Florida State should win out. Clemson's really good. They'll beat each other in the ACC championship. Always redemption versus the guy who took his job. Are they going to get there? I know Florida State feels like, hey, we got a giant chip on our shoulder. They took us out of the playoffs last year. We should have been there. I don't know, man. That team, you lose your quarterback, and I said this on a show yesterday. I don't know if it's a show. I do a bunch of shows. Any team kind of loses their quarterback, chances are in college football, even the elite programs, you might have a little hiccup. And he was the only guy they lost coming into this team. I'm not going to say no to this. I'm not a huge player prop guy as it is in NFL. In college, I'm definitely not going to dive into the player props. So I'm glad to put this up here. Let the chat enjoy it. DJU plus 230. Again, it's minus 114. And Chris is saying hello. I'll do a little, I guess we'll do a little rundown here. But you know what, let me talk about? I had the Astros last night. Only game I had yesterday because I've had a up and down, more down than up August. I still have a good season. I'm up 20 units for the year in baseball. 2,000 and change here. 530 games bet. But it's been a little bit of a rough one this month, which, when you take dogs and you do some run lines, sometimes the cream runs. Are you kidding me? Last night? I don't ever count my chickens before they hatch. I'm like, I got to win run puck. I saw they're up. I'm like, all right, nice. Let's move on to tomorrow. Go blow that game like that, Houston. That's how we're doing things. So today, listen, Yanks against the Rockies today. Warren, I mean, just look at this number. I mean, I made a Hank Blaylock joke the other day with this pitcher for the Rockies. 290 with the Yanks today. 150 on the run line, 145. LA, just look at these matchups. LA and Toronto, like another over. Again, I got last place teams I don't love. The Stros, I'll take the Stros again. I'll do the Stros over the O's. I'm not a fan of the O's right now. I think they got some pitcher problems. Although a win like that might catapult them a little bit. I'll still say Astros here. Brewers and the A's. I mean, Ray's had a nice little season. Good for him. D-backs, Sox. We liked the D-backs yesterday. D-backs again. D-backs in the over. So I want to do an under here with Snell. And really just fading Seattle's offense. 6.5. I saw 7 last night, and then I saw a 6.5 pop up offshore. I'm like, this is gonna go to 6.5. As bad as Seattle is, and as good as Snell's been dealing, I can't even do a 6.5. I'm not interested in that. No, thank you. Reds and Pirates. Who are these guys? No, thank you. Thank goodness football's here. We got a couple games on a full slate next week. Texas at Cleveland. I like Texas yesterday. I sort of want to take Texas again today as a little kind of pick 'em there. Tigers and the White Sox. We got a Scooble sighting. Run line, even him at 130. Not interested. Twins. I said I liked the run line yesterday with these guys. I will say, you know what? We'll do a little run line again with the Twinkies. Why wouldn't I do a little run line? They lost yesterday. I think they bounced back here. I think the Twins. Well, Lopez's years. If he had a normal year, or his better year, I should say. Of course, Ryan and Ober, these guys, Woods, they pitched well. Royals today, and we liked the Royals yesterday. I want to come back on them again a little bit, but why do I think? And I like Brady Singer. This one here, I mean, if you're a Philly backer, I get it. Irvin and Charlie Morton, I'm just all for usually unders in Brave games, but I think an over is in session for that one. Something says it's like easy under with those two pitchers and the way the Braves are, but I don't know. My gut says over. Peterson and King, San Diego Lane, another big number there. And I lost with him the first game. I didn't come back with him yesterday. Dumb. Taj Bradley and Kershaw. I want to take Bradley, although his road splits are not good. Like, the guy is not good on the road. You look at his numbers, like, yikes. At home splits, fabulous. I don't say unhittable, but really good. Away, not so much. I mean, 130 whip, 255 batting average against. It's like, but I don't like Kershaw. And it's not that the guy isn't a Hall of Famer and he's a great pitcher and all that, but he's not vintage. I mean, you got a walk-off grand slam last night. I get it. Wow. I just feel you're going to get a half a game from him because the Dodgers are going to protect the pitchers. They don't have a lot of pitchers. They got a lot of 5-inning guys. I don't see them rustling him out for extended time. And I like the young guy. Again, didn't bet it. Didn't bet any of these baseball games today. Not interested. Football-wise, college, listen, we've talked about Georgia Tech. It's the lines come down. Why didn't you take Georgia Tech plus 13.5? Montana State. Could have had a 4.5 a month ago. Could have had a 9 on Monday. It's what, 13.5 now? We got the under in the chat. I said, what? I didn't even pop up the picks. I didn't add any baseball and props. The New Mexico unders, what I put out the other day here, 54.5. SMU in Nevada. I do like SMU first half, as I mentioned with Dave, where he's liking his SMU for the game. I would do a first half with SMU. This Hawaii game, a 40 spot. Not interested in that. NFL. If you're on Sean Higgs YouTube, I posted a bunch of NFL the other day. You could have got them. Maybe you did. Maybe you went and saw them. Today, let's go through the games here. I'll tell you what I got. I'm going with it again. I'll tell you what I have here. So I got the Lions under, or the Steelers under, because I got Steelers. Again, Steelers minus 3.5. Lions under 36.5. Cleveland minus 120. Colts won already. Got that game. Houston minus 6. Not a good number on the 6 there. It's come down. Still like them. Green Bay plus 1.5. That line's flipped. Who we got here? Carolina minus 2. Denver under 36. Most, we're seeing some overs now after that 26-6 under run, and I think it's more of the teams have next week off. Again, another bye week. Let's get some bit more reps for our guys. You got teams saying, "Hey, let's finish up a year strong." In case like the Bears, undefeated preseason, going into season, a little momentum. I get it, and that's what I think you got to kind of look at on some of these things. Last week I had overs; they all kind of ticked up a little bit, and I lost some of them. This week we see these lower totals, and we've seen some overs. I mean, the highest total on the board yesterday went over in the Miami game. If you watched Winner Circle yesterday, I was doing a live show with Mark Lawrence and Victor King, and we're talking about that Raider game. And simple. Like, it took the Raiders. You take the Raiders in the over, no way you're losing both. And you would end up winning both of them. Not going 0-2 if the Raiders score 8 points. Well, they scored 24. That's a 2-0 sweep there. Is Ray being undervalued? I think he is. And this is, I just think the Brewers, because I undervalue the Brewers group. I think the Brewers aren't a good team, but yet here they are sitting in first place, 10 games up, and you're like, what the heck's going on here? Ray's a nice little year. I mean, this guy, he's 34 years old, believe it or not. But solid numbers. On the road, a 3 ERA, 256 batting average against. I mean, sometimes the ERA kind of gets skewed, right? You can see a guy with a high ERA, but then he's got like a 188 batting average against. Like, what happened here? An error and a walk or something, or gives up home runs and runs come in a little bunch, untimely or bad hitting for him, timely hitting for the other team. But Ray's season has just been kind of like a season of what it looks like on paper. 11-4, 3.52 ERA. I mean, you look at the 108 strikeouts, 135 innings. Not sexy by today's standards at all. Not some dominant .88 whip or something. The guy just goes out and they win games for him. And that's what the Brewers have just done all year. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they're a good hitting team. I don't like the lineup all that much. I don't like the pitching staff. I mean, they trade Burns. Haven't had Woodruff. It was like supposed to be Peralta. They had Wright. I mean, Keuchel pitched the game for these guys. And yet, again, they're sitting in first place by 10 games. They've won 7 of 10. But you look at – here's like you talk about being undervalued. They're still a 120 fave here, right? So it's an okay size favorite for a road team. But that would you think would be a team that's kind of worse, right? I mean, it's opened up a little higher, actually, and it's come down. MGM had this at what, 135? DraftKings had this at 135. Now it's come down 10 cents. The A's, I believe, I think my guy Anthony told me this, pounded. They have the best record or the most wins, or some kind of combination of that, since the All-Star break. So I look at that short number and is it too good to be true? You got first place team, a 120 fave over our last place team. Davis is in the house. He likes Tech today. Montana State as well. I like them both there, Davis. Groovy says he loves the Rams money line. Give me the QB from Georgia. Stetson Bennett. Groovy is a Stetson Bennett fan. I like the other side here, obviously. The line has come down. All right. Is it a bit worrisome for me to see it come down from a 6 to a 4? Yeah. Especially when it opens up at a lower, it opened up at like a 4-ish or whatever. Or no, it did open at 6. It was a flat up 6 opener. Interesting. Then down to 4. I still don't believe in the Rams. And again, this is them stopping. Stetson Bennett put up points. So again, this is where you maybe want to look at an over here, 34 points. We have a combination for Houston here, quarterback wise. This is what I kind of like. Why I mean, Keenum. I think I played Boyle. Boyle's a guy who started games in his career. You know, this guy's played games. Started games for the Lions. Started games for the Jets. So we're not going to get Case Keenum on a whole day or Davis Mills. Maybe it's just Boyle today. I don't mind. I don't mind that. Davis likes the Giants minus 160. I gave this out yesterday with Mark and Victor. It was at a 140 spot at the time here. I think the Giants, not that it's their season or their Super Bowl type game, but you're playing the Jets who, let's be honest, you got Aaron Rodgers quarterback. You're thinking Super Bowl. So they have playoff and big aspirations. Giants, they're going nowhere. Big game for them. Beat your Rutherford rivals here in New Jersey. They're the New Jersey Giants, by the way, Davis. They're in New Jersey. So beat your rivals in your rival stadium. That's also your stadium. Give your fans something to be happy about because it's going to be a long year. Mariners today. Yeah, I'm not looking to bet the Mariners. I was looking to bet them last night. Not looking to bet them tonight either. This team, I can't trust a team that can't score runs. Forget about scoring runs. They can't hit, Chris. They don't hit the ball. Last night, what was that extra inning affair last night? No thank you. I don't want Mariners to me. Not on my bingo card the rest of the season. I can't do it. If I do, I'll come in here and be like, I don't know why I'm doing it. Dave says Cowboys minus 3.5, 2-1 this preseason. I like the Cowboys today. I'm with you on the Cowboys. Chris says Orioles are live to beat the Astros again today. Mariners might win and gain another game in the division race. The Orioles should always. I mean, you say they're live? They're in a game back in first place. Like the Orioles, I think are a good team. If I'm talking, for me to say like a live team, I got to think they're like an underdog or like just a bad kind of team. The Orioles are a good team. The Astros are a good team. It's a pick'em type game. They've struggled. I think I said like like Philly, they're 500 going back into July. I don't know about the Mariners. The offense has been putrid the entire year. We're gonna say, hey, let's turn it up today against Blake Snell, who's been unhittable the last month. Yeah, they picked up a game. Yeah. Terrible loss by the Astros yesterday. I mean, that's a good win. The Astros give up a home run late, and then they rally and win in extra innings. Davis, Omaha Storm Chasers. That's your crew. Groovy says, I got the Rams a few days ago, plus 280. Let's get this money. Good number there, Groovy. Clint's in the house. Hanging in there, Clint. Good to see you. Groovy says, just Fields, you stink. Just shut up, don't fumble. Give me the under in the Lions game. Fields and Russ. I gave out my little bathtub bets, right? There's walking bets. If you're on the Twitter X world, make sure you go check out my bathtub bubble bath bets. Yeah, that's just my feeling on the Mariners, man. I think the Orioles are good. But as I said here the other day, as much as I thought the Orioles in July, I was saying, Orioles, World Series. Let's go. They made 2 trades for a pitcher. And they failed miserably. They didn't even get a great pitcher. They got a good pitcher in Eflin and then a back-end guy. You didn't do anything to address the bullpen. And you had a bad closer. And as Mr. Norman's like, oh, you're flip-flopping. No, it's not a flip-flop when you think a team's going to do something and I come in and say, let me take off, Chris. I'm not lecturing you some more, Mr. Norman. If I think the Orioles are going to go get a ace or 2 really good frontline pitchers and a bullpen guy, nobody's catching them. Because the Yankees have a 2-man offense and 1 pitcher who hasn't even pitched all that great. He's kind of rounding into form. The Stros, I think, have some pitching concerns. And Seattle can't hit. And Cleveland and Minnesota, we'll see what happens there. Kansas City fighting. So really, the team was the Orioles because they have the best farm system. You think they get pitching? They didn't get it. They got garbage. They got garbage. They're still a dangerous team. I'm not loving them to come out of the American League. And if teams keep pitching to Judge and Soto, you might lose to the Yanks with no pitching, with their terrible pitching. Will Warren is a $3 fave today. Who the heck is Will Warren? And I got so much numbers. I said, if you wanted to bet Will Warren, Luke Weaver, Clark Schmidt, and Cole to win a World Series, you wouldn't. You wouldn't bet that. And that's the rotation. And yet, let's just throw to Judge and Soto every time. They are, I think Tony K pumped out today on Twitter. They're 48-4 when those guys homer. How about you don't pitch to them? You don't pitch to them. They're a 500. They're below 500 probably. Davis says under Round Rock minor league action. Jesse, my guy. Ross, I firmly disagree over the Montana State game. He thinks the bookmakers are giving us the winner. I think 13 is too much. How do they give it? So here's the thing with that, though. And this is why I miss doing a show with you guys, Ross and Jesse. The line opened at 4.5 in July. It was 9 a week ago. 4.5 to 6.5 to 9.5. So if they're giving you the winner, did he think at 4 it was a winner? Even at 9, I would have jumped. I mean, I didn't jump in at that point because, I want the best number. So, 4.5 is like, should I grab that 9? I got 4 points of value here anyway. I think I agree with you. I like Bronco, but New Mexico's their entire with the entire coaching staff went to, I think, Vanderbilt, right? Jerry Kill's like an advisor, and the offensive coordinators over there, the quarterbacks over there. And you got Montana here just going to run the ball, right? They rushed for 300 yards a game last year. I mean, 13.5 might be too much. At this point, it might be too much. I don't know. It just keeps getting bet up and up and up. Davis likes the Reno Aces minus 145. Groovy says, can the Mariners bats appear suddenly after a new coach? That's a fluke. How is that possible? Like, now they're going to start hitting the coach's gun? Like, they're like, hey, let's not hit the ball? The coach isn't hitting the ball. Was it their hitting coach as opposed to their manager? I don't know. Listen, I played baseball, young, little levels, little high school, whatever. I think I've, a couple of years in my teens. But what how to swing a bat. What do you need a hitting coach for? You're in the majors. I never understood that, a hitting coach. And I never understood how a guy like Wade Boggs or Gwen or guys who just raked like crazy, Mattingly, they weren't hitting coaches. It was always the guy like Torey Lovello hit like 218s like the hitting coach. I forgot that. Arsenal in soccer. Who says Scooble over strikeouts. Louis Roberts is so talented but so clueless sometimes. I'm not doing Tigers minus 250. Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, they're 130 run lines. AC Milan minus 163. With 4 points. What is this? AC Milan. Davis is coming in with the soccer. I think it'll be ironic, poetic justice if Montana State wins by 11. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Opens general consensus. Most people probably could get this at 9.5 at the beginning of the week. Now it's at 13. So that'll be good. That'll be funny if it goes to 11. Lands right on 11. On like a late touchdown by New Mexico or something. Davis, Barcelona, minus 175. Isn't it how this works? Yes. The big middles. And listen, Jess, you know me, and you know this game. Like the average Joe isn't doing middles, right? They don't have New Mexico minus, forget 4.5 or 5.5. They don't have a minus 9. They're looking to get in today. I mean, everybody today punching in here. I got Georgia Tech plus 10.5. I got Florida State minus 10.5. It was 13 a couple days ago. Actually, a little longer than a couple days ago. Why are we waiting? I saw somebody who I kind of like and respected, and someone was like, "Oh, He's like, how'd you get that number?" And I was like, "Bro, this number was just like a couple days ago. You should know people can get down the lines." And then today, he responded to somebody by saying, "Oh, you could have had a better number yesterday." I'm thinking to myself, and I don't want to get in a Twitter argument over nonsense, but I'm like, yesterday you're asking, why is a guy lying about a number? And today you're telling somebody like you could have got a better number yesterday. You know to get down early. I mean, there's enough shows. I forget my show that gets a few hundred views combined on the channels. Like there's shows that get tens of thousands of views. And they talk about early numbers. If you're not going to get an early number, you're having fun. Davis says Seattle minus 115. Is this the Mariners today? With Kirby against Snell? I mean, listen, I'm not a Snow lover. We faded him all up until July, up until he came back from his rehab. Because let's be honest, his first half of the season was that was his spring training. Let's roll into how he's been since he's come back in July, and I see 6 runs. 6 runs in, what's that, 20, 40, 52 innings? 52 innings, 70 strikeouts. 70 strikeouts in 52 innings, 6 runs. He's taken his ERA from 9.51 to 3.57, 3.67. He pitches like this for the next month, his ERA is going to be a 3 after being a 9. I'm not taking Seattle. You're nuts. Atlanta minus 185. Here's another one. We're going to take old man, 40-year-old Charlie Morton on the hill. Old Charlie Bones. I get it. I think the Natties are a bad team. Irvin has not been terrible as a pitcher. 185. 185. Charlie Morton at home has a 4 ERA. He's got a 5 ERA his last 7 games. An August ERA of 4.95. 11 runs in 20 innings of work. 22 hits. 286 batting average against for the month. No thank you. No thank you. That was on top of his 5 ERA, his 5.30 ERA in July. Nope. Not going to lay a principal. I should, if I wasn't in a little funk, Davis, I would just be taking the Natties today. You know, I would say, you know what, I'm going against that. Take the Nats. Take the Rays. Higgs is the king of getting the right number. I respect the hell. You have to get to a good number. And I listen, Jess, the number, you have a good number. Does it mean it wins? No. I mean, you could get a good number and it loses. I've had those before. You know, it happens. But I think long term, it's a winner. Over the long run. Chris, Mariners won the game, but they probably shouldn't have yesterday. This could be the game they win without a doubt if they can hit. Yeah, if they could hit the ball. Like I say, Chris, we hope in one hand and poop in the other and see which comes up first. It is August 24th, and they're one of the worst hitting teams in all of baseball. In fact, let's pull up the batting stats for teams in Major League Baseball and see where they are average-wise. Let's see. Worst team in baseball. Wow, the Seattle Mariners, 216 batting average, a team batting average. Worse than your White Sox, worse than your A's, worse than every team in baseball. 216. 216. 216. How about at home, 207, the worst team in baseball? Worse than the White Sox. So you're telling me if the White Sox had this pitching staff, the White Sox would have more wins than Seattle. How about that? And away game. Let's see how they are on the road. Oh, shockingly, they're only the third worst at 224. That's where the White Sox come through like the Kings they are. Indiana Fever plus 4.5. Little WNBA for my guy Davis. What the heck? Shandong. This is a family show. We don't have to talk about dongs on here. Timothy's in the house. Giovanni, what do you say? You still like the Steelers at 7 or lower, and you're on the over. Under Steelers 36.5 or 35.5. It's the under. I think the Steelers score because I like Fields and Russ. They win. Giovanni, this was a bathtub bet. This was Steelers -7. China Summer League Shandong -3.5. So, Davis is going to Summer League in China. China Summer League.
Stop it. Get some help.
Please, Davis.
Stop it. Get some help.
China Summer League. Early lines are key. I had someone get on board with one of my packages for the season and like, oh, this line's moved. I was like, yeah, I put the games up early. I said, and why don't you look ahead to next week? We have, NFL games. Lines have moved already. The lines come up early. And this is how this channel started. I was doing look at lines, like overnight lines for basketball and then to football just Sunday nights. You want a better number. Percent-wise, I think you're going to be over 60%. Well over 60% on a better number. It's not every game, though. There's going to be a handful of games. You got to be able to kind of think where it's going to go. Chris says that's bad. It's terrible. They don't hit. That's my point with Seattle. It's like, you are the worst hitting team in baseball. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy with that pitching staff. Because the pitching staff is one of the best of baseball. I mean, it is one of the best. I mean, where are these numbers on the staff here? Number 1 whip, Seattle. Batting average against, number 1, Seattle. I mean, that's all you need. Number 1 ERA, Seattle, and they're 65-64. Most shutouts, Seattle, tied with the Braves. I mean, it's man, Mariners fans, I feel for you. I like the old Mariners hat. Colorado for the win today. Big mouth Rob, I like it. How is Warren laying $3? And can someone bean Judge? Like, how are you letting Judge and Soto just get at bats? No one else is hitting on the team. No one else is hitting. Adam Scott plus 175 to win a tournament. Is this what, golf? Who would like to see Sean dress up as Donald Trump for Halloween? We should be Donald Trump. Put a little wig on. Red Sox are deep. Man, Chris, I should have took the Diamondbacks yesterday. I didn't. I can't come back with them today because instead of being 1-0, I'm 0-0, and if they lose today, I'm down. I do like the Diamondbacks, though. Got Texans +3. Good number on the Texans. I got a bad number. I still think they win this game. Again, maybe it's come down because it's going to be like the Tim Boyle show as opposed to Davis Mills or Keenum or whatever. I don't know. I still like the Texans. I didn't buy off of them. Chris is laughing. Probably after Jesse Shule. Football season is here. Summer is gone. That's it. It is gone. It's official. It is officially official. I mean, summer's gone. My kids go back. My kids have been in school for 2 weeks, so summer's been over. Chris, you are welcome. Again, for the show today, I no baseball. I've been struggling. I'm not going to just force something to put in the chat. If I didn't keep a record, sure. I thought about that. I thought, who cares about the record? Let's just put a bunch of games out. Nah, that's not what I do. I'll take my dings when we have a losing baseball. Maybe I'll find a couple wins. Let's be honest. I need what? Probably I take underdogs. Well, I need 7 winners to get back to even in this channel here for the show. We'll get there. But today's pick, under New Mexico, 54.5. I think the small school guys laying a big number. They like to run the ball. So we'll see some running of the ball. We'll see some churning of the clock. Hopefully they're not huge rushes for like 70 yards. And this game's like 48-26 or something. But New Mexico with just 3 starters back on offense. New offensive regime. Quarterback, the whole kit and caboodle. Low scoring. 54.5, 54-45. 54.5 under. Gio's in the house. Let's get it. Good luck to you over there. We're going to try to have a nice winning weekend here. We got some football up. Had a winner yesterday in football on the sites. We did drop the crazy Strohs game, but whatever. A lot of football today. How many football games we got left for me? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5, 6, 7. 7 NFL games on the ticket this week 3 right now, and plus the Georgia Tech game, who I told you to take months ago. How do you feel about the Packers and Cowboys? For the season, Cowboys under. And the Packers, I think, will be all right. I think they lose against Eagles in week 1, but I think Packers are all right. Game is underway. We are underway in Ireland. So go have some potatoes and watch this game. You just eat raw potato. Anytime there's a turnover, how about let's do something really sick. Every first down, you got to take a bite of a raw potato. You got to bite it and cut it, like get it in half or a chunk of it out. You don't have to eat it. Just rip it off with your teeth. Potatoes. I'm out of here, potato heads. Good luck in your bets. Back Sunday. Bye-bye.